Hey there, it's Donnie Mercado from TADA Acting Studio. I'm recording in a couple different places right now. So I'm recording on Zoom for you because I'm about to screen share, and then I'll layer in some of my non-Zoomy footage that I'm recording on my phone. So I just did a little live a minute ago telling you that I was going to give you a free sample acting class on script breakdown for youth and teens. And some of it will be animated. So I run TADA Acting Studio if you don't know that. And the link down below to join us in classes will be there, but I'm assuming that you're here because you already know who we are, and maybe you're even studying with us. So let's go. So now we're going to dive into how to break down our script. And what I'm showing you right now on the screen is Act 1, Scene 5 of Tevye, the Magical Theater Cats, making of Tevye. So let's go to our lesson plan, and I'll read this out for you. First, I want you to read your lines out loud at least 3 times every week while you're rehearsing. If you rehearse them all by themselves, that's not going to help you at all, because you're going to just know your sections. And in a team player environment, and this is a team, acting as a team, you need to know the story, the whole story around you and why you say what you do. So this is how I want you to rehearse at home. I want you to have ready your script and a pencil and more than one color highlighter. Each scene, ask yourself these questions and write the answers on the margins or on the top or bottom of your page. And this is the example that I'm recording for this cast. How do I feel at the top of the scene? Who am I? Who am I talking to? Where am I physically? And what do I experience with all my 5 senses in this space? Smell, sight, touch, hear, taste. What do I want? For example, I want a play to take place as planned in this play, in this story I'm telling you. I want to save the parents. I want to save the show. What am I trying to get the other person or people I'm talking to understand? Or what am I doing with my words to affect them? Those are called actions in Stanislavski land, and you can find out more about that in my upcoming Stanislavski for Kids. So those are actions to tease, to instruct, to beg, many more. I'll actually put a whole list of actions in your script breakdown area, okay? Like a whole page that you can practice, rehearse with at home. Does how I feel change in the middle of the scene? What happens in the middle? Transitions from beginning to middle happen when the subject changes, somebody exits or enters, or a physical action or plot shift happens. What obstacle? That's a fancy word for what's in my way of getting what I want. What obstacle am I trying to overcome in the scene? Is that made more clear in either the beginning, middle, or end? When does it transition to the end of the scene? Look at every new scene as its own little mini story with a beginning, middle, end. How do I feel? How does how I feel change at the end? What happens at the end? And remember, we're looking for transitions. Transitions from beginning to middle or middle to end happen when the subject changes, somebody enters or exits the room physically, or a big physical action happens, or a plot shift takes place. The plot is the story, and the shift is, think of it like music, it changes. And I want you to get your pen or your pencil, and I want you to make a big line on your script to separate that for yourself. You can even see, if you're watching the screen share, that I put a line there to remind me. Okay, here are some other rehearsal tools for you to help you learn your lines. When we're rehearsing, we're going to say the word or words in what the other person just said out loud. And we're going to repeat only the words that make you reply the way you do. We'll practice that in class. That makes you a better listener. And why are you doing that? I want you to do this even when you're on stage. I want you to listen for what makes you reply the way you do, so that you're in the moment, in the scene, paying attention to the story. And you know what? If you know the whole story, you might be the one that saves everybody's tush if somebody forgets their line. It's awesome when we do this in Theater Creators Kids, because you make it up and you get us back on track. And then those are the greatest moments. Ask some of my returning students. They love it. All right, we're going to do this one sentence at a time. It takes a long time. So we're only going to do a few samples in classes we rehearse today. Build in aha moments. There's a video in my acting class app on this. It's in the script breakdown area, and it'll also be in your Google Classroom. If you're studying with me right now, I'll post a link to that video. Aha moments is when we don't know that you know what you're going to say next. And the longer you know this by heart, the more you tend to just go really fast and say it all at once. I don't want you to do that. Build in those moments when you know your character is going to stop, think of what to say next, and then come up with it. And eventually you don't even need to do that because it's all natural and you do it automatically. I want you to look for important words in your thought that makes the sentence clear. They're active, descriptive, or the subject of the thought. They're usually nouns, people, places, and things. Do you have trouble getting the timing right? Pay attention to the punctuation of the scene. Is anything italicized, bold, or underlined? There's a whole video on what to do about that in my acting class app and in the Google Classroom for you. I think I'll post that link again. The reason you're paying attention is that it can change it. If you go really fast, it can become a comedy, whereas if it's a serious moment, you might want to slow it down. And you'll see that the punctuation from the writer probably tells you how the music should play, the music being the timing of how you speak it. So before you know it, if you have done this work along the way, it will never feel or sound like you are just reciting something you memorized. We'll go over this in class. So this is all for our final act of Act 1 as our sample. So let's go and do this now. This part won't be recorded in our in this animated version for you, but I'll layer it in, all right, so that you can see us do the work. Screen. I want to show you the script. Hi, I'm back. So I had to find Act 1, Scene 5 of Tevier, the Magical Theater Cat. It's the making of Tevier. That's what you're looking at right now on my screen. First, I want you to pause this video and read this scene out loud for yourself at least 3 times, okay? So where are my meeting controls? I'm going to pause. Meeting controls, pause the video. How do I do it? Yes, here we go. Pause my video, and I'll be right back. Read this out loud 3 times, and that'll help us answer the questions. Okay, so as I get some of the answers for myself here, I'm going to pause and then come back. I ask myself, how do I feel at the top of the scene? Who am I? Who am I talking to? And where am I physically? And what do I experience with all my 5 senses in the space? Smell, sight, touch, hear, taste. And it's right here in the very beginning. It's written for you in the script. So whether you're working on this script with me right now or any script in the future, you can do this. It says here, the director has to recast the whole play. How does your character feel about that? Are you the one that's excited because you didn't like the part that you didn't get? Because in our making of Tevier, we're acting as though the parents were the ones who were doing this show, and the kids now get to be in it. So that's kind of cool about that. Let's see. And yeah, here we go. The director has to recast the whole play. So everyone is on stage in chairs upstage, like a meeting has been happening. There's a space downstage and center for action. You are now the kids again. The scene begins for us already in motion on the stage in the theater. So how do you feel? Are you anxious? Are you excited? Are you the one that's frustrated because you have to recast the play? How you feel will depend on which character you're playing. Who you are, which will depend on which character you're playing. Who you are talking to will depend on which character you're playing. But where you are physically is the same for everybody. So it says it's a stage. There are chairs. But what else is on the stage? What do you see, smell, taste, touch, hear around you? Did you just drink hot chocolate off stage? While you waited to keep you awake because of this meeting? If you were grown up, you might say, oh, I just drank some coffee to keep me awake. If you know me well, you know I drink coffee all the time. In fact, here's my coffee right now. This one says stay positive. I don't know who got me this. Stay positive. Miss Donnie's a big dog fan. Okay. I smell, like, close your eyes for a second. I'll even do it with you. Close your eyes. If I'm on a theater stage, I smell the curtains. It sometimes smells like really deliciously musty to me. I don't know. It's usually a little too cold at first until the heater kicks in. Maybe I hear the heater. Maybe there are other actors sitting in the chairs in the audience and I hear that. I just opened my eyes, so feel free to open your eyes. That felt kind of strange to be sitting here talking to you with my eyes closed. What else? Yeah, what do you hear, smell, taste, touch around you? Oh, we're going to play an environment game if you're with me in person. So what are the other things that you might have in the environment? Maybe there's a rack of clothing there that are costumes because today was the day that you were supposed to do your costume fitting. Maybe there's a little miniature model of the set. They do that in theater. In professional theater, there was a day when they would show us the model of the set, and you'd get to imagine it for when it's built. In Theater Creators Kids, quite often we don't have the finances to like build you a huge set, but it doesn't mean you can't create it with your imagination. So yeah, think about that. Okay, I'm going to move to the next section. I'll be right back. One question is, what do I want? All right, example, I want the play to take place as planned, to save the parents, save the show. I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you an example. This is not what you have to do if you're doing this show. I'm going to go through and read it, and I'm going to write next to it an example of how each person might feel at the top of the scene and what they might want. But unless it's directly indicated in the script, or unless it says it in the script that you are acting or feeling a certain way, some of this is just you bringing it to life. All right, let me pause the recording and I'll be back after I mark this script up for you for a second. Here we go. Pause. I'll be right back. Actually, I am recording this section here because it's going to be layered into the animated version. So let's go and add a comment. What color are comments? I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and do this in real time because this is a really good example. I'm Samantha, and I've been singing, acting, and dancing since I was 6. Someday I'm going to be on Broadway. I'd love to be the cat. In fact, I saw Cats, the musical ones. They danced, they sang, they took my breath away, except the movie version. That version was kind of creepy. So not in any particular order, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I were playing Samantha for this little section. So first, I would go through and I would highlight all of my punctuation. I'm Samantha, comma, and I've been singing, comma, acting and dancing since I was 6, period. So that'll be a full stop in how she plays this. The timing of it will stop there. Someday I'm going to be on Broadway. So let's go with that much so far. So at first she's eager and raising her hand. Okay, so we're going to go with I'm Samantha, and I've been singing, acting, and dancing since I was 6. So eager and bragging a little bit. Okay, not for a bad reason, but I mean, he's casting a play, so there's no reason to be shy right here. Someday I'm going to be on Broadway. How do you feel about that? The whole concept of being on Broadway, really let that take you over. Dream about it. I'm not giving you a line reading, but it should have some music to it. I would say something like, someday I'm going to be on Broadway. You know, Broadway, name and lights. It is capitalized here. Broadway is capitalized. All right, so let that be in there. So let's see, let's write here. What are you going to do here with this section? I would say that you are imagining. Right? I'd love to be the cat. Aha! That's a really great moment for an aha moment. So I'm going to put it right here. Oh, no, let's put it over here. In fact, okay, let's put, so for aha moments, to remind myself, I just put a little AHA. Aha. So I want you to come up with what you're going to say next right there. In fact, I saw Cats, the musical ones, and that's in italic, that is in parentheses. So you can do this when you say it. You don't have to. You could just say it like you're announcing the title of the play, which you are. I'd love to be the cat. So what are you doing there with I'd love to be the cat? Let's do that. What are you telling him? I don't mean to be scratching out that section. Let me see if I can move it so that it's not. There we go. I've moved it. I'd love to be the cat. What do you want? You're asking, right? Ask him. Ask to be cast as the cat. So ask for this part. Okay. And then that's a little tangent. In fact, I saw Cats, the musical ones. Think of it like it's in parentheses, even though it's not. It's a little tangent. They danced, they sang, they took my breath away. So this is a list. I didn't talk about that yet in this video, but I do have another video specifically on what to do if you have a list in your script. I'm going to number them. So they danced, they sang, they took my breath away. And I'm setting you up for a joke. So I want you to play the timing on purpose. They danced, comma, think of it as a unique thought. They sang, that should come out sounding different. I'm not really giving you a line reading, but I'm numbering these so this list comes out differently. They took my breath away, lose yourself. And then we're expecting you to say something else. There's only 2 dots there. There should be 3. Dot, dot, dot. Except the movie version. That version was kind of creepy. And that's where you're going to play the joke, okay? Because if you play the timing correctly on this, and again, there should be a 3rd dot there, it should go something like this. Da, 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 da. You see, we're setting it up. One of my teachers taught me that that's called a triplet. 1, 2, 3, and then totally different energy, different feeling. So I want you to give me a different feeling on, except the movie version. That was kind of creepy. So what was that? I don't know. Insult the movie version, right? So we'll put insult, and then explain. Okay, so you're doing a lot in this little section right here. And I forgot to highlight some of my other punctuation. Okay, so you know how I'm working right now on breaking up the beginning, middle, and end of the entire scene. But this little monologue for Samantha also has a beginning, middle, and end to it. So let's mark it out for us. I think I'll change the color on what I'm doing. Let's do pink. Okay, so in the beginning, she's eager and bragging. I'm Samantha, and I've been singing, acting, and dancing since I was 6. And then she changes the subject to Broadway. So let's go. We'll put our beginning line here. Okay, we're going to pretend that this is our page. And we're going to go like this. And we're going to make a line. There we go. Okay, so I'll write in the things in a minute because I don't want to have to change my little gadget that I'm using. So then in the middle, she's imagining, right? Someday I'm going to be on Broadway. I'd love to be the cat. In fact, I saw Cats, the musical, once. They danced, they sang, they took my breath away, except for, so let's go, let's see, imagining, except, I think if I were going to, and I think I will, I'm going to repeat a line for you. I'm adding a line here so that it makes the ending of this little monologue more clear, okay? So in this section, you are going to recall Broadway. Okay, that is going to be a section. And then I'm going to add a line. Can I please be the cat? Okay, we'll add this for you. Can I please be the cat? Okay. Oh, wait. There's a line there. Oh, quiet everyone. We don't have much time. Show literally. Oh, you're the cat. Yeah, I don't know. We'll play with that. We might add this line. Can I please be the cat? And then you'll just have to change your ad libs. Oh yeah, it was kind of creepy. Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll change your ad libs to she'd make a great cat. That's what we're gonna do because I want to give her little scene a clearer ending because I feel like the way I wrote it, it's kind of left hanging there. So that's the glory of creating this as we go. Can I do it? Can I write? Enter. Well, I mean, why is it not letting me put words? There we go. Change lines to, yes, she'd make a great cat. She'd make a great cat or something like that. So do you see how we're changing this? So let's see, demand, ask, I don't know, can I please be the cat? Let's do that, the begging part. Okay, so if I were breaking this down now, I would do this. Can I change this to this is eager, okay? And you are demonstrating, I don't know, we'll change it in a second. I'm Samantha and I've been singing. Introduce, you're introducing yourself. Okay, and then down here, can I please be the cat? That's going to be the begging section. Why did I change it? Because begging. Okay, so let's pretend this was an audition piece. You want to show, if it's this, even just this much, you want to show different layers of your character in the script you're given. So if this were her only section that she's auditioning for, and they use this as the audition piece for our play, it would be an intro, eager, to imagining, to begging. Or you could demand. I don't know. It depends on what feels right for you. And I'd be happy with either one as the director, or maybe if it wasn't me directing it, they would tell you exactly what they want you to do. So what is this? If this is its own little beginning, middle, and end story, which it is. So in the beginning, she's introducing herself. In the middle, she's imagining what it would be like to be on Broadway. And in the end, she's asking for the part there. So what I would also do is write beginning, middle, and end for myself. I do that there to remind myself to shift the music of it. And so important words, I talked to you about important words in this video, but I didn't circle or highlight any of them. So let's do that for a second. So what are our important words in this section? What color do I want? Orange. I'm going to do orange. Okay, important words. There we go. They're the words that make the whole thought make sense. So let's read the beginning. I'm Samantha, and I've been singing, acting, and dancing since I was 6. I would say Samantha, singing, acting, dancing. Okay, those are important words. Those are the things that are going to help you get cast. And it's also a list. I did not number the list, but this is another list that I just realized is there, and I don't know why it's not letting me write it. So I'm going to do it like this, freestyle. Can I? Yeah. So 1, those things are unique and need to come out sounding different. Okay. There you go. There's a video on that in my acting class app. And let's see, someday I'm going to be on Broadway. That is important because obviously I already discussed the importance of it. I'd love to be the cat. I'd love, that's capitalized. The whole thing is in caps. The cat. Okay, these are important words because they are the point of the thought. I saw cats, the musical ones. Okay, you talk about that. Talk about Cats, the musical. And then I'm not saying that you have to stress those, but if you've at least looked at them for yourself, this is going to help you tie the whole thing together and help you memorize it. All right, and these are all the things they did, and they're important words. They danced, they sang, and this is also a comparing and contrasting moment, right? Because you said you've been dancing and you've been singing. So just notice that, and that will help you learn your lines, because first you go from how you used to sing and dance to on Broadway they sang and danced and how it made you feel. Okay, and the third is they took your breath away. That's the third thing. Took my breath away. Breath away. I don't know. Breath away. Took my breath away. It should only be one of those words highlighted or circled, but I'm just doing this quickly because we're doing it together. Except the movie version. Oh yeah, the movie. The movie was horrible. That version was kind of, how was it? Creepy. And how is that going to come out? You're insulting it, and you're insulting the movie, and you're explaining. I particularly don't really have a pro or con about the movie. I know a lot of there was a lot of controversy, or that's a fancy word for, there was a lot of chatter back and forth about some people loved it, some people didn't. To be honest, I didn't even see it. I saw sections of it. So I only put this in there because it's a joke. So please, please forgive me if you love it. And I just insulted it. It was really just for the sake of the joke. So then, can I please be the cat? So take a full transition right there, a full little stop. You see there's a period. I did not highlight the period earlier. It's not letting me because it won't let me layer on so many things all at once. But just know there's a period there, and I want you to take, maybe I can do it this way. No, wait, maybe I can do it this way. No, I just changed my whole color scheme there. I'm not going to change it. Just know that's a full stop, okay? That's why I went right there. And then beg, can I please be the cat? And everyone changed their lines to yes, yes, she'd make a great cat. And how does this little section end? So her beginning, middle, and end is in her little monologue. But this section right here ends with him giving her the cat part. So in the little section of your scene, Samantha, is this Samantha talking? Yes. Did you get what you wanted? Yes, you did. You go, girl. Okay, so he's going to make you the cat. It says it right here. You agree and you give it to her. Okay, so I'm not going to do this whole thing, but that is an example of how you can learn your lines in a really organized way. And it's organic. It means that it's coming from a place of the character, and it helps you know the storyline and become a better storyteller for your audience. So yeah, enjoy that as your free sample, my friends. And if you haven't already, please check out Acting Class app and TADAactingstudio.com. Okay, bye for now.